Hi, I'm Matt with PineCar.com, and today we're going to be looking at one of the PineCar Precision tools that's going to make short work out of body alignment. So you're wanting to build a winning PineCar racer, but due to standard manufacturing processes, you soon learn that your axle slots are not square to your block. Well, today we're going to tackle that problem by introducing one of PineCar Precision tools, the axle slot jig. Now this tool is specially designed to give you several options on how to remedy this problem. So first, it allows you to drill new axle holes to ensure vertical and horizontal slot accuracy. Or it can help you correct the flaws in your existing axle slots. It also offers an option to drill a raised hole for the three-wheel riding technique. Now what I like about this tool, it's been CNC machined, and that's going to ensure me I'm getting a very precise, high-quality tool. It's also been tumble polished, and that makes it safe to handle by removing all the sharp edges. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing you're going to want to do is test fit your axle slot jig to the block. Now as you can see, our jig is fitting our block perfectly, and that's the way you're going to want it. Now if your block happens to be too wide, it's no big deal. Just use a coarse piece of sandpaper to narrow down that block until your jig fits perfectly. Or if your block is too narrow, you can easily fold up a loose piece of notebook paper to act as a shim in between the jig and the block itself. Now if you simply want to use the axle slot jig to clean up your existing axles, there's a couple basic steps you're going to need to follow. First, with using the jig as a square, mark a line down the side of your block from the center of the axle slot. Next, line up the jig's index mark with the line you just drew and clamp into position. Chuck your drill with the bit provided, while firmly holding the block, drill 3/4 of an inch into the existing axle slots. Clean both sides before repeating the process on the second axle slot. Now I recommend you drill brand new axle slots when building your car. The reason I like to do that is it ensures me when I install my axles, they're going to be square and true to the block itself. Now there's two ways to take care of that. First way to do it is actually put in brand new axle slots in the same side as your original axle slots, and that way you don't cover up your block verification, which is important for some rule books. Now the second way to do it, which we're going to be doing today, is actually flipping the block over and actually putting in brand new axle slots on our car. Now don't worry about the existing axle slots, we're going to be taking those off in the car body shaping process. Okay, so let's move forward. At this point, use your axle slot jig as a square to help mark the location of your existing axle slots and transfer that mark to the top of your block. Make sure your lines are centered in the slots. Line up the index mark on your jig with the line you just created. Clamp tool into place in preparation to drill. At this point, go ahead and chuck up the drill with the bit provided. While holding that block firmly by hand or possibly in a padded vise, drill 3/4 of an inch into the block through both sides of the holes on the jig. Alright, release your clamp and slide the jig to the front axle position. Reclamp into position and drill your final two holes. If you're using a shim, make sure you keep it on the same side of the block when you move it to the forward position. Now for those of you wanting to apply the three-wheel riding technique, you're going to want to drill out the axle slot of the wheel you're raising first, and this can be any wheel of your choice. Now this technique works very well with existing axle slots or if you're going to be drilling new holes. Just be sure to check your local race rules before applying this technique. Start with a block with your guideline drawn as previously demonstrated. Once you select the wheel you want to raise, extend that guideline to the underside of the block using that jig as a square. Line up the jig's index mark with the extended guideline you just drew while making sure the third hole on the tool is on the lower portion of the car body. This will ensure the tool is in proper position. Clamp into place and drill 3/4 of an inch into the block. At this point, drill your remaining 3 axle slots as shown on the prior block. Now with that front wheel being raised up, I'm going to reduce a lot of friction between the track and the wheel itself. Alright, now that you know your axles are perfectly aligned, you're going to notice a better performing car in the track. To learn more about body alignment or any other PineCar Precision tool, visit us at PineCar.com.